Hello there, all you bucket heads, and welcome to all of our guys, gals, and non-binary pals without fear. This is another episode of the most disorganized podcast on the internet. Welcome to Under the Helmet Podcast. If you enjoy tonight's episode or any of our episodes, do yourself a favor and do us a favor. You'll be helping each other out here. Go down and give us a like. Leave a comment on the video. Subscribe to Under the Helmet Podcast. Join our Discord. Follow us on Instagram. It's all in the description below. Because once you do that, you become part of probably one of the coolest communities on the internet. I mean, we're biased, but it works. Yes, Callahan, my glasses are a little big because...
You're saying this despite one of the co-hosts essentially wearing flat screen frames.
Everything I do is big. So... of course I go big or go home. But with that being said, let's get to the episode. So Eli, we talked about this before stream.
We did. We talked about it a little bit in the Discord too, which speaking of which, you should totally be in that Discord.
Absolutely.
If you're part of the folks who watch the show afterwards, firstly, we love you guys. Thank you so much. We understand that not everybody can make it in time for like the show itself, especially our UK friends, which shout out to them once again.
Yep, they got a reel posted.
They did get a reel. I'm gonna try and start doing like a clip every day after the show. I think it'll be something fun.
I'm down for that.
You know,
I enjoy it.
Highlight our little funny moments, or in this case, sappy moments, because quite frankly, we love our friends. It's a good time.
That we do.
And yeah, so thank you to everybody who watches after the show. Thank you to everybody who joins in while the show is running. Big special thank you to some of our most active people. Callahan, you're in here. I mean, heck, I don't remember the last time that you weren't in chat with us. It's always a good time having you around. Site, it's been a while. We hope you're doing all right. Always good to hear from you, man. I mean, shoot, everybody. Of course, my wonderful girlfriend, Gabby, which two of us are actually coming up on 1 year. She got me AirPods in a Spider-Man case, which I'm a big fan of. Yeah. So, and my phone is trying to connect to them. So there we go.
Also, shout out to Sidekick Red. Before we get started, whoever you're thinking of, they ain't beating Goku.
Yes, of course.
But with that being said, we talked before stream and we decided that we had two very big, very meaty, very action-packed episodes of both She-Hulk and Andor this week. So we decided to focus on She-Hulk this week mostly. Andor happened. It was great. We will definitely give our full thoughts on it, but we didn't want this episode to be 3.5 hours long because there's so much that happens. So we want to take the time to give She-Hulk the justice that it deserves, and we will talk about Andor next Thursday because that's pretty much all we're going to have. So
yeah, I was going to say we don't have anything Marvel on the schedule up until Wakanda Forever.
Yep.
Wow. We don't have anything Marvel on the schedule till Wakanda Forever. It feels like it's been a while since that's happened.
It's good. We need a break. We've been like back to back with Marvel content.
We have.
And I've actually was on a TikTok live recently. This morning, actually, we were talking about this and about how can you have a social life or have a life outside of media consumption when there's so much going on. And there's just certain things you have to pick and choose to not watch. Like for me, I'm not a big fan of Middle Earth type stories. So I have not been watching Rings of Power or House of the Dragon. They don't personally interest me.
Not a fantasy guy. I get that.
So I mean, with that, that's kind of how I do it. But if you're watching all of these shows, along with She-Hulk, along with Andor, along with everything else that comes out, and this isn't your job, props to you. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, I shoot. Whew. Oh,
Absolutely. Also, I've decided that just to kind of put a little dig out there to Callahan talking about his rants in the Discord. I've decided to start watching a Marvel show. It is one that I've been putting off for a while, and I said, you know what? It's been a while. I need to watch this show, and that is, of course, Daredevil. I need to rewatch Daredevil because it's been too long. And seeing Matt Murdock pop up in She-Hulk again made me think, man, I really like that show. I want to watch it again. So shout out to me watching Daredevil. Callahan, I see your comments. You got played, my guy. Speaking of getting played, let's talk about Jennifer Walters in She-Hulk. Because she got played really hard by Intelligentsia in this episode.
that she did. That she did.
And this, I have to say, this episode started off strong with very much with dealing with the repercussions of the last episode.
Oh yeah. We were directly into consequences of actions, which is always good to see in superhero shows. Consequences of your actions. It makes them feel mortal, makes them feel grounded and much more tangible, as opposed to these gods zipping around, destroying buildings, and not facing any repercussions.
I have to say though, with the whole gods running around destroying buildings, I would love to see Damage Control try to like bring in Thor. I feel like that'd be really funny. Just like because like you got to think, oh, they've got something for a Hulk, they've got something for Iron Man, they got something for Captain America, but they got nothing for a Thor. Like what is their Thor counter? Exactly. They don't have one. Unless you want to count White Vision, who's currently MIA. But could Vision beat Thor? Remains to be seen. They've got a taser. He's notoriously weak against lightning.
I do feel like he does get zapped in every other movie.
Yeah, that's one thing I won't understand. But in glass windows.
Oh, yeah, have you seen the meme where like every single movie he's like smushed up against one?
Oh yes, that's true. That's true. I do agree with that. But let's go ahead and let's talk about. So Jen gets out of prison, but she makes the same plea deal that Emil Blonsky did, where she can no longer transform into She-Hulk. So then she goes through. It's all of this. It's this whole process of she loses her job, she loses her livelihood, she kind of loses everything.
Yeah, she moves back in with her parents. And I don't know about anybody else. No shame if you haven't moved back in your parents. Me personally, that felt like a new low.
It's ouchie wouchie. I know if I moved in again with my parents, and I love my parents, but moving in with them again is not really in my cards ever.
Yeah,
because I'm an adult with a certain amount of independence and freedom that you lose. And I can only imagine moving in with my parents after a sex tape of me gets leaked. Like that would be some and my parents, you know, shout out to them. They're pretty open. They're pretty honest. We don't really keep a lot of secrets in my family. We don't really keep any, to be completely honest. But I wouldn't want to like be like, hey,
that's
now that you've seen me putting in that work, how's it going?
That is not the kind of work that most people imagine, but I mean,
just sitting around the breakfast table and just feeling. Now my mom, I know this would be my mom. My mom would like kind of look through me for a bit and just be like, Mom, please stop picturing me blowing that girl's back out. It's not your fault. Hey, you saw me smash. Now can I crash? You saw me smash. Now can I crash? Hey, Mom and Dad. How we doing? You saw me smash, but can I crash at your pad? Unless. Alrighty, so we see
That was good.
That was really good.
Oh.
So we see that Jen is actively trying to find the intelligentsia people so she can sue them. She doesn't even want to like Hulk smash them. She just wants to take them to court, which is a very Jen Walters thing to do. I like that because she's like, I don't see this solution like a superhero. I'm not trying to like go out and like fight somebody. She wants to get justice through the law, which I really liked.
It goes back to her opinions at the start of the series. You know, she's kept very true to her character in some ways and grown and developed in others, you know.
Absolutely.
But at the start of the series, she was like, oh, I'm not some egotistical, you know, billionaire or some god flying around destroying buildings. Not exact phrasing, but
close enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get to see the after effects of that, and then we see her assistant or friend whose name always escapes me when I try to say it. Nikki. Why? Why do I keep forgetting Nikki's name? Why?
Put some respect on Nikki, all right?
I do put respect on
Nikki's name.
She's Agatha Harkness's daughter. Of course, I'll put some respect on her.
Oh, I forgot about that theory.
Yeah, for those who don't know, that's a shout out to a theory that was dropped last week on the show. Which
Sorry,
if you haven't seen the episode, definitely go watch it because we raised some very interesting theories on She-Hulk.
We did. Sorry, I was thinking back.
Some of them came true. Some of them did.
Yeah, that's true. Mine didn't.
Well, yes, but there's always more to it. This finale very much did not go in a direction that anybody thought it was going to go.
I don't think anyone could have predicted what happened. I mean,
no.
There was
Jen. So I think we've been talking a little bit, but I definitely want to put the spoiler banner up at this point.
Yeah, because we're about to dive right into it.
That this episode very much devolves into chaos with all of the plot lines sort of kind of flying together. And well, you know why they did that? Because that's been one of the biggest commentaries on shows. That there's this big CGI fight at the end, and it was prepping to be like that. Like it was prepping to be like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where you deal with all these concepts, these very high-minded concepts, and then the end is just a Dragon Ball fight.
Yes.
So that's what this was shaping up to be. And Jen goes, no. Pause. So she quite literally breaks Disney Plus, jumps out of her show, goes into a different...
She goes into Marvel Assembled.
Yes. And then begins to find...
Kevin.
Then she goes to find and talk to the writers. And after talking to the writers, they're like, that's a Kevin decision. So who does she go to see? Kevin Feige. She has to sign the NDA.
Yep. Everyone has to sign the NDA. So, and then they call security on you.
And then they call security. She beats up security. And then she goes to talk to Kevin. Now, I just want to say, we know this is fictional because Kevin Feige's hit squad, we know for a fact, is much bigger than 4 guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Kevin Feige's hit squad is...
I will say, they've been letting some shit through, so maybe they had some downsizing in that department.
No, that everything Kevin... But we find out that Kevin is not actually Kevin Feige. It is a robot that predicts and makes all of the Marvel movies.
A predictive algorithm brain, essentially like Ultron, but not psychotic.
No, that just wants to make movies in a shared cinematic universe. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. I laughed so hard from the moment she broke Disney Plus till the very end of the episode. It was just nonstop. It was hilarious to me.
I mean, I found it really interesting because we knew this is one of our like 2 fourth wall breakers in the entirety of the Marvel universe. We got Deadpool and we got Jen. And I found it really interesting.
Huh? And Gwenpool when she eventually shows up.
Oh, geez, I don't think anyone's ready for that. Gwen Stacy hasn't even showed up since, last time when she had a emergency chiropractor visit. In Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I'm only smiling because I'm thinking of all of the memes of that scene. Yeah, the scene where Peter blows her back out, literally.
Dylan, that's worse. Oh, thank you.
But anyways, so let's get back to She-Hulk, where she talks to Kevin, and she actually puts up a really good argument as to why her show should end
Opie's frozen.
the way, a lot more satisfying of a way.
They're hell-bent on not giving me the size I ordered.
Sorry, it's dinner time.
I want a milkshake.
It's a concrete from Culver's.
Gabby, can you bring me a milkshake, please?
Dylan would like a milkshake. He is jealous.
I think it would melt if I drove it to you.
I mean,
we did
11 hours.
Also, I didn't know
Not bad at all.
So I got you a double because you usually do.
We did the math before stream. It's an 11-hour drive between.
Yeah, it is an 11-hour drive because I want Dylan to come and visit me very badly. I miss him. I have never met him, and yet I miss him.
I know, right? It'd be like that. But
Internet friends be like this, and it hurts.
For real. So we get to see that, and the episode comes to a very interesting conclusion. One of my favorite lines in this bit of the episode is when she says, my cousin smashes buildings, I smash bad writing, the fourth wall, and occasionally Matt Murdoch. And I screamed when she said that. That was hilarious.
It is another one of those moments where I'm like, don't you hate seeing other people live your dreams?
Also, I love that the villain of this show was just straight up incels. I really like that.
That was good.
And when they get called out for it, it's amazing because, as somebody who is deeply familiar with those circles, the fact that Nikki talking about infiltrating them, all you have to do is just call women females. That's it, and you're in.
Yeah.
And
or be like, say she got all her powers from nepotism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, it was really cool to see. And I do agree with Callahan. It did feel a little underwhelming. So Callahan says, I found it interesting, but overall the finale felt kind of flat to me. Kevin is funny as hell, but I think that they tried to put a lot of storylines into this and to get them swiped away like Tinder. Yeah, I will agree that it was kind of not so much annoying, but it was kind of like, okay, so now what? Now is the thing just swipe away? Like how does it like Jen, she hulked out, she broke her plea deal, but then again so did Blonsky. Right. So it's one of those things that I would have preferred if more of the plot lines were solved in the show and not just Jen playing Marvel God in terms of what happens. Granted,
that being
some
said,
things did not need to happen at all, but yes.
That being said, if you look back in the comics, in the trial, so to speak, of the regular Marvel universe versus the Ultimates universe, Jen Walters is the one to defend the Marvel universe against the Ultimates universe becoming the main timeline.
Also,
so it makes sense.
We do not need the Ultimates universe, please.
No, we do not, for a large number of
reasons. One of which, the Ultimates, can it just be one of those universes that just everything except Miles Morales dies? We need a Crisis on Infinite Earths, but Marvel, and literally just nuke the Ultimate Universe. Nobody would miss it. I wouldn't miss it.
Wait, Miles was from Ultimate's universe?
Technically, yes.
Oh, that's lame.
He's the one good thing to come out of Ultimates.
Yeah.
But anyways, going back into this episode, I do agree that having the plotline sort of wiped away, like having the slate wiped clean,
Mhm.
it's kind of nice, but it's also kind of annoying,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. But I don't hate it. And I do have to say, I think if I could change one thing about this finale, it would be sort of at least, I wish they played into never mind, because I don't really have anything that I would change.
Yeah.
I honestly, and this is, I wish that more of the episodes of this show were like this finale. I know why they weren't, because again, like I've been saying, it's an episodic show versus we're used to more serialized shows. So not every episode in an episodic show is an absolute banger.
I'm sorry. I find it really funny that in you trying to find a criticism for the finale, you're like, man, I wish more episodes were like this one.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing. That's the thing that I've heard people say, but it's true that I do wish that there were more episodes like episode 8 and like the finale. And I mean, again, I don't want it to just be, because there were cameos in it and, I like me cameo. Like, no. I understand why those episodes exist and I don't dislike them for it. I'm just saying, me personally, I enjoyed those episodes more than some of the more slice of life type episodes.
I do.
But overall, I enjoyed this show, and I don't want people to think that I didn't. And I don't think anybody does. I mean, I praised the show the whole time.
Mhm.
And here's the thing: if I've had any criticisms for it, it's not like, we know the types. We've all heard them. I don't even have to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the main character changed, but the only thing that happens is the day passes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I want to say the reason I don't like it's the reason why I don't like stories that end with everything being reverted into where it was at the beginning. I don't think that's what happened here. To be completely honest, I don't think things were reverted back to how they were at the beginning. I think a lot of things were fixed, but I don't
I
think
still
it
don't
was
know. I still don't know what entirely happened because when she rewrote her own show, there's a couple things that get called into question because specifically her blood in the syringe that got synthesized into Hulk formula for Todd. What happened to that? Because if he didn't Hulk himself, then does that blood just not exist? Was it written out of existence? Is it just sitting somewhere? What's going on?
I think I don't think it was. I think it was written out of existence, and I think it's that way just because of how it all ended, and because if he wasn't in Hulk form, then he wouldn't be. But I have to say though, all of the things that happened did happen. And this is evidenced by Blonsky going to jail. Because if Blonsky didn't go to jail, then we wouldn't have, so it's tough. And this is why we wanted to focus on just this show, this episode.
Mhm.
Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, so we know, Blonsky went to jail. So obviously his stuff happened. Like he abominationed out at the Intel conference. Like everybody was there. So all that stuff happened. Titania was there. So she obviously showed up for something.
She has the hots for Daredevil too, which is
Bruce
understandable.
Banner didn't show up.
I also have the
until
hots
the
for
very
Daredevil.
end. So Bruce Banner was not there. So
Do we want to talk about Bruce Banner showing up? Namely
we'll
his
talk
guest?
about that in a bit. I want to first talk about Matt Murdock literally just appearing because Jen says a girl has needs.
Dropping out of the sky, which a girl does have needs.
And again, cannot stress this enough. God damn, that suit looks good.
That suit was made for daylight.
It was.
Like we talked about this before stream.
The helmet, like on the helmet, you can see like scuff marks and scratches, and like, you know, it's weathered, so you can tell Matt's been putting in that work. Because in the episode where the helmet's first revealed, it's like shiny yellow. So
this man had it for a matter of days.
It is, in fact, a tasty suit. The ketchup and mustard. Personal fave.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah.
Very tasty suit. Just as good on him as it looks on the floor.
Chef's
I know
kiss.
what I said.
But yes, now also, Matt Murdock, we get to see our boy actually smiling for once.
And
he
smiles when he's around Jen, and it's so good.
And he's wearing flannel. Flannel boy's taking big dubs today.
Today, this was very good. Also, Matt Murdock's apparently in Los Angeles for another week before he goes back.
So you already know he is hitting that body, yada yada yada.
He's gonna need a darn chiropractor.
Also, so did you see the? Well, I want to rewind for a second. So the video of Jen in college where she's twerking or whatever.
Yes.
Jen's got moves. Jen was throwing it back.
Jen was indeed throwing it back in college.
And in the show. So to anybody that got mad at the twerking scene, how do you feel to get called out like that? Because literally the show has done such a good job of calling people out and like farming outrage views. I do think that's great that it was able to farm the viewers, the toxic viewers, to get what it wanted. But I do also question, okay, what does this mean for fandom and discourse going forward? Because when people are toxic, they very rarely get less toxic when you call them out on their toxicity. And I know that sounds long-winded, but it's true. If the number one way for somebody to keep being an asshole is to tell them that they're being an asshole. And like, don't get me wrong, they still need to know that they're being assholes. Like it's not making excuses for the shitty fans. I'm just saying there are ways to address them. But I also know, like with Star Wars, you're not going to win against them. They're going to turn, no matter what you say, into something twisted in their worldview. Like when Star Wars put out the thing about Moses Ingram saying like, hey, just like don't be racist. And people were like, this is a preemptive strike by Star Wars to subvert all criticism. No, they're just saying don't be fucking racist.
Because they were already racist. And
it's like, oh, well, you know, these are fake accounts with 3 followers. Like, yes.
That's what trolls were.
Say racism from their main. That's not how this works. If you do racism on your main, you are an idiot. Do not say shitty
to
things.
Be fair,
that's why people make burners. Trust me, I get shitty comments all the time on TikTok, and guarantee you 90% of them are people hiding behind their burners.
Burner accounts are always really funny to me because sometimes they'll be like fairly normal sounding names, and other times they just fully embrace that it's a burner account, and it'll be like trash talking something or other. I
Mhm.
do find that really funny because they're never super creative.
No, they're really not. And then like, and they make their profile picture something like really dumb, whether
Yeah.
it be like an Anakin or a Darth Jar Jar or like
Mhm.
or like a Lego picture.
Ooh.
Like, bro, there's so many Lego accounts on TikTok where it's just like Lego Anakin, and they'll say something like truly vile about Rey Skywalker, and it's like, bro,
Right.
show your face before you
Like,
talk shit, man.
firstly, don't take something innocent like Lego and demean it like that.
Exactly.
Secondly, if you're going to demean me and call me foul things, properly punctuate it, or I'll come at you like a damn English teacher.
Damn straight. Oh, I fucking bodied somebody one day because I got somebody in my comment section one day because they were like, they said something, and I was like, and I just respond, I like, debunked whatever they said, and then I just responded with, if you're gonna make criticism, if you're going to try to say your criticism is valid, you might want to have proper spelling and grammar
Mm-hmm.
if you want it to be taken seriously. The boys going full out. Under the Helmet podcast destroys online trolls with facts and logic and a gun. This is a Disney Plus digest for real world issues.
I would be happy to do a real world issues about like trolls and toxic fans. I think
You know what? I really like that idea.
we talked
So
about one a while ago.
we talked about this, and I think what we need to do is, and I'm saying this on live now, so we can definitely talk about this later. But
Mhm.
hey, all of our cool cosplay friends, we know you've all dealt with shitty people.
Mhm.
Shoot us we're gonna put up a post about it, I think, on our personal pages, but
Mhm.
as well, we'll do a post on the Under the Helmet page. And we should do just like a episode to talk about like toxic fans and like, toxic fandom experiences. I think that'd be really good. I can
Yeah,
hit up some of my friends on TikTok, some of my mutuals.
absolutely.
So yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. So I definitely think that's a good idea that we should follow up on in the future. So
Mhm.
clip it. Clip it.
Might clip that. I'll keep a
Yeah, we'll
note.
clip
33
that.
minutes in.
Now that that's been said, what else should we talk about with the She-Hulk finale? Because so much happens.
I fear
Oh,
this.
yeah,
I clip one thing and I've become the clip machine.
you are. Clip it. Or somebody else clip it. Also, speaking of She-Hulk, you mentioned this earlier, and I wanna circle back to it.
Mhm.
Hulk shows back up
Mm-hmm.
and sees Abomination and just immediately starts throwing hands.
Yep.
He says, "Get your hands off my cousin," and just immediately wants smoke. You can tell he's been on Sakaar for a bit because he's like, no words, just punch.
Yep.
Yeah, but they ruined the Hulk though, because like they're not gonna do the World War Hulk story. Yeah, they ruined him. Didn't you know? Marvel ruined the character they don't have the rights to, so they can't make a proper movie with.
They let him be
Weird.
happy for once in his life. Yes, they
It's
truly ruined him.
yeah, damn. They ruined the character because they let it grow and develop. How awful. How terrible. I hate it. Why
That
can't
toxic
my
fandom
characters be miserable all the time like I am?
This has been a delightful social commentary episode that we've had. I thoroughly enjoyed
It
this.
has been. Surprise. And we dressed it up as Disney Plus Digest.
We
And
did.
you may be looking at that wondering, like, hey, this doesn't really fit. There might be a word for that. Might be the title of the video, like, what? Gotcha. Noise warning. I love how I always say noise warning after the fact that I just screamed into the microphone. Hey, noise warning. Screams as loud as humanly possible. Anywho's, so we at the very end, who do we see? Bruce Banner, the Hulk. So we end the first episode of this series. This series truly went full circle, because not only did we find out that Captain America fucks, not only did we find out that She-Hulk fucks, not only did we find out that Daredevil fucks, we also find out that the Hulk fucks.
Hold up, rewind. We knew Daredevil was an absolute man whore. That's not new.
Yes, but we got the closest confirmation possible.
That's a fair point.
In the Daredevil show, it was implied. Well,
I don't know. That scene with him and Elektra
wait. There actually was a scene with him and Elektra where they were younger, where they were kind of banging. You see, and this is why I need to watch Daredevil. It's been too long.
It was on a boxing gym floor. Like the part where they box. You know that shit's sweaty. You know it's not properly cleaned.
Street behavior. I stand.
Truly so.
Whole heart. You are my whole heart, Matthew Murdoch.
A nasty disaster of a man, and I couldn't love him more.
The Hulk has a son. What's his name?
Yep.
Scar? I think.
Scar.
Yeah, Skaar, right?
As opposed to Sakaar, which is Sakar. And a couple more letters.
My name is Scar from Sakaar. And I do have to say, I saw this on TikTok, so it's not an original thought. But the barbers on Sakaar need to get their shit together. They must have really gone downhill since.
What did they do to that man?
They set Thor up right. They gave that man the clean shave on the sides, the bit up top, gave him the little Z's. Scar. Somebody said that it looks like Mike Tyson was shadow boxing with the fucking razor at this man's head. Just
oh no,
this man. I already know. This man got hit with the entirety of the multiverse. Bro's hairline. Bro literally has the most receding ass hairline I've ever seen in my life. Bald people have better hairlines than this man. I've got a better hairline than this guy. My hairline's pretty far back.
You got the early stage Peter Venkman.
Look at that e-boy hair now. Yeah, I'm hot like that. I'm an e-boy. Now the long hair might be coming to an end. It's getting kind of annoying. I haven't decided yet. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I might go back to my short, well-kept hair. But I also like seeing people that I haven't seen in a while, and they're like, "Oh, you grew your hair out." I'm like, "Yeah." Surprise. Haircuts are kind of expensive.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, heck, mine's growing out to the.
Shout out to Matt Murdoch. That haircut was looking real nice. So if you see me rocking that Matt Murdoch cut, don't be surprised. Do not be surprised. Are we bringing back the 66 subscribers? Dylan shaves his head.
Shit. I tripped on myself. Are we?
You know what? Clip this. We'll do a new challenge. Instead of 66 subscribers, because we're kind of almost there. So I'll say this. If we hit 100 subscribers by my birthday, which is November 24th.
I was going to say, that's not far.
If
Last time we had like months.
No, you had like a month. You still have a month.
Oh. Okay.
It's not even the 24th of October yet. So if we hit 100 subscribers by my birthday, I will get a haircut. That's
not a challenge. You got to put more stakes on the line if I'm really going to go for this.
Fine,
what do you mean by a haircut? You'll go bald.
I'll go bald.
For 100 subscribers by your birthday, you'll go bald.
Man, we got to go bald.
I'll send you a nice wig.
There you go.
Who knows?
I'll
You
just
might
wear
like
hat.
it. I might get you a Kylo one.
Yes, actually, you know what? Because last year, ironically, this did actually happen. Where 1 year ago, I
Mhm.
went to a barber shop and I had decently short hair, kind of close to what Eli had, and I told the lady to surprise me. Well, I was very surprised when I walked out of there with a skin fade. I walked around in the cold of winter, walking around looking like taxi driver. It was not a fun time. So yes, 100 subscribers, I will go bald by November 24th, 2022.
All right.
The
100
challenge has
subscribers.
been issued. The
November
challenge has
24th.
been issued.
That could make for a very interesting birthday episode.
That could make for a very interesting birthday episode. We do it live. Live Dylan shaves his head. Birthday stream. Dylan shaves his head. Not clickbait. See, already got the episode name. This is why you never say surprise me. Yes.
Yeah, you never say surprise.
I learned that lesson. I was very surprised by the fucking skin fade.
There's a couple things you never say surprise me to. A barber is one of them.
I learned that the hard way. Well, because I wanted to go shorter, but I didn't know how much shorter I wanted. I was like, oh, I'll go a little shorter. So yeah, surprise me again by shaving my fucking head bald.
Well, I feel like we've pretty much covered the episode. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Do I have
Before we get
anything else
into
I'd like
news
to
and
say?
rumors?
Oh yeah. Who else do we see in the end credit scene to this show?
We see Wong again.
Wongers.
Mm-hmm.
No Madison, but
No
something
Madison.
really funny happened to me.
Where is Madison?
So the line that Blonsky says is interesting. He says to him, "Did you get caught up in another show?" And Wong says, "Oh, what can I say? I lose track
We're
of
in an
time or
era of
something."
peak TV.
We are.
No, I
So-
think he meant that as like watching TV shows because that is the main thing that we've seen him do.
Right.
And Wong's like, we're in an era of peak TV, which I took as confirmation of, he's watching TV, not being in TV. We don't have another TV show for a while.
I like the idea of it being a double entendre, sort of.
Oh, believe me, I do too. But they're not fourth wall breaking characters.
Not typically.
So it would not make sense.
But how many characters have we seen break the fourth wall in this show? We've seen 2. We've seen Jen, and we've seen Nikki, who I'm still convinced.
It's debatable that I'll give you that one.
I'm still convinced.
All right.
But who do we see breaking the fourth wall but Hulks and magic users? And who's in that scene but a Hulk and a magic user?
By association, yes.
Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme.
I meant Abomination, but sure.
He is a Hulk, plain and simple. They may not claim him, but he's a Hulk.
We do not claim this man.
I claim Blonsky. He did nothing wrong.
Speaking of what,
other than violating his parole.
Yeah, but in going to the intelligentsia meeting, he didn't know they were evil.
That's the funny part. Is he just sitting there like
he was entirely
giving
oblivious,
generic
just trying to life
like,
coach them.
He's giving generic life coach advice, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna accomplish our goal and kill that bitch." And he's like, "Wait, what?"
Excuse me?
Because imagine.
And then the second that he realizes what's going on, he's like, "I got you."
Also, I love it when Nikki shows up after Jen, and they're like, another woman. That was particularly funny to me. Another one? And then Titania showed up. 3?
That's an all-time record for them. They've never been in a room with that woman.
Listen, you ever been in a room with a woman? It's scary, man. They're like,
I don't know. It seems all right.
no comment at this time.
That being said, I believe it's time for news and rumors. It's fairly short.
I believe it is time for news and rumors.
Well, we have some fairly big news. The first one is in regards to the comic series as well as Amazon TV show, Amazon animated TV show, Invincible, which, me personally, I thoroughly enjoy Invincible. I think it's a very good show. But reportedly, there is an Invincible video game that is officially in development at Skybound Entertainment.
I'm interested. I just saw that today.
We don't know anything else about it, but
I do have to say, I would be a little upset if the game came out before season 2.
That's fair. Season 2 is taking its sweet time.
It is. Season 1 is amazing. If you have not seen Invincible yet, definitely watch it.
So good.
I would like to do an episode on Invincible, because maybe when the second season comes out.
Yeah. I will say
maybe when the second season starts to come out, we'll do an episode on season 1.
Invincible's on my list. Another one that's on my list is a Daredevil recap series where we, go through the seasons. Do that before Born Again comes out.
Do that right as I'm watching Daredevil.
I was saying right before Born Again comes out, but we could do that. Yeah,
that works too. I mean, Daredevil hype, as always, as TikTok has showed me, Daredevil hype is real.
It is.
My second was somebody asking me in my comments, "Can you see out of that mask?"
But to be fair, it is kind of a black cloth.
The person just said, it was one of my mutuals, so they said, "Can you see?" And I said, well, not really. I have astigmatism in my left eye and a -3 in my left eye, -325 in my right eye. And I started going into my fucking eye prescription, and then I said, but I wear contacts to help. And I said, oh, you mean the mask?
Yes, Dylan, they mean the mask.
One of my favorite comments I've ever done.
I have Spider-Man news about the future of Spider-Man.
Some behind-the-scenes stuff of Madam Web.
We did. We've seen some behind-the-scenes Madam Web stuff. Our villain is some guy I've never heard of, who's apparently a Spider-Man variant.
Who doesn't wear shoes?
Yeah, of course that's what you noticed. Anyway.
Bro's got... All right, listen. Every fucking photo of this man is him, like, hunched over like this, and you see his monstrous dogs out. Don't come for me. Bro's got the feet up in frame, and you're like, oh, first thing you notice is his feet. Yes, they're huge. I don't have a foot fetish, though, I swear.
Okay, Dylan. Oh, okay, buddy.
Put those grippers away.
Anyway,
no! I don't lick feet.
I'll leave you alone. So, firstly, we're going to start off with some rumors. I believe I may have covered this one on Tuesday, but reportedly Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4 will release on July 12th, 2024. It is now believed to be a street-level story that might handle the aftermath of Daredevil Born Again. This tracks with news that we had gotten from Kevin Feige himself, that being that Spider-Man and Daredevil are our new kind of leads for everything that's happening on the street level. Which I would love to see the two of them in a film together, all costumed up. Don't get me wrong. Love seeing the two of them out of costume in No Way Home. That was great. Daredevil has literally shown up in all of two things, and one of them was to clear Spider-Man of terrorism charges, and the second one was to, sleep with Jen Walters.
Smash the She-Hulk.
Yes, smash She-Hulk. But I would also love to see him fighting crime. Nextly, Marvel will be seeking to go the comic accurate route and give Peter his symbiote suit at some point during one of the two upcoming Avengers films. The symbiote will be introduced during Phase 6 of the MCU. Peter Parker may not have his own solo outing in the suit until Phase 7, after the multiverse saga has ended.
Damn. That's a
Yeah.
long time to wait.
It's a long time to wait for a solo outing. We'll see him in the Avengers movies. I'm excited for that. I'm real excited for that. I think it'll be good. With Spider-Man freshman year and Spider-Man sophomore year, it's expected Marvel will announce subsequent series that will cover junior year and senior year of the animated series. Long story short, Spider-Man freshman year is getting 4 seasons. They're all named after various years of high school. It'll be great. That one will be nice because I do feel like that will be the episodic Spider-Man series that I have wanted for the longest time. Zombie Hunter Spider-Man is expected to appear in the Marvel Zombies series. I don't feel like that surprises anyone because he was still alive at the finale. And finally, Sony are seeing when and where the
Wakanda with the Soul Stone or the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
Also, how did Zombie Thanos get the Soul Stone? Or was he not a zombie when he got it?
Man, I don't know. Zombie Thanos.
Well, actually, no. I feel like here's what happened.
I don't know what's going on.
I feel like this is what happened. Thanos sacrificed Gamora, got the Soul Stone, went to New York to get the Time Stone because it was still around Doctor Strange's neck.
Yep.
And then got bit in the street.
That would make sense.
Maybe like zombie Wong's head bit him or something. That'd be really funny.
Could be. And finally, last piece of news. Sony are seeing when and where the Spider-Verse trio will meet again, rather than if they appear again. But only time will tell. So, Sony are like, yes, we are doing Peter's 1, 2, and 3 again. We will be doing that. They're just seeing when they can make it happen.
You're gonna put some dirt in your eye.
I do so sincerely hope that we get to see a little reenactment of the Spider-Man 3 dance sequence, but with the three of them.
They have to. They have to at this point.
That would be delightful.
It's become too memed about.
But that being said, that's all I have for news and rumors. I believe that's about all we've got.
You forget that is the premiere of the greatest peak movie of the year is going on right now is for Black Adam.
Oh right. Wait, when does that premiere?
Soon.
Excellent. Thank you for that date.
So very, very soon, the hierarchy of power will be changing in the DC universe. Forever. So, if you liked this episode and you want to change the hierarchy of power on YouTube, give us a subscribe, like this video, comment, and share. If you've made it to the end, you already are helping us come up in the hierarchy of YouTube power. But it only gets better when you subscribe. Because remember, like I said, if we reach 100 by my birthday, November 24th of this year, we gonna go bald. I got a lot of hair too. Look at all this nice, beautiful hair that will get absolutely shaved the fuck off.
Yep.
Bzz, buzz, buzz, boy. I'll do it myself.
Please don't do it yourself. Have it professionally done.
I have a mirror.
That doesn't bring me a ton more comfort.
It's literally just a razor and a mirror. Just No, we gotta go bald.
Well, thank you to everyone who came out. Thank you to everyone who is watching this afterwards. thank you to Dylan for giving me a bunch of things to clip after the show. I will be sure to get right on that and send those to you so that you can make the posts with them.
You can post
Thank you
them.
once again to everybody. Have a good night. May the force be with you.
And we will see
remember
you.
whose show this is.
It's Under the Helmet.
It's Under the Helmet, baby. Have a good night, everyone.
Goodbye.